No, no, no. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, hi. How are you? My name is Brian Hegney. I'm an instructor of communication here at High Point University in High Point, North Carolina. Welcome to the third video in this series, this amazing series of how to raise a platform in Unreal Engine using a first-person shooter example template. So far, we've made the platform in blueprints. We have created a trigger box in the world, and we've started hooking that up in the level blueprint. In this video, this third video of this exciting groundbreaking series, we will be making the blueprint actually go when we hit the trigger. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to open up the level blueprint by clicking Blueprints, Open Level Blueprint. And there's a familiar site for you to see, right? You know this. We just worked with this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and kind of jog my memory of what it is I'm actually doing. I'm going to delete that print string. We don't need that anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to use timeline. Timeline is a nice little trick. When we actually go, you know what I might show you? Because you know, a lot of new students might want to see this. I'm going to skip timeline for now, pretend I didn't even mention it. Drag the little node out from the execute button and let go and type in the words set actor location. That's what I want. Make sure you click set actor location. And the question you have to ask yourself is, what are we doing? What is this location? This is going to be the end location, my friends. We're almost there, in a way. And so I could say, you know what, set end location. Where do I want it to go? Just for funsies, let's figure out where, I don't know, where would the end location be if I just dragged this up a whole bunch. Look at like 660 units. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just say, okay, end location, X, Y, and Y will be the same. I'll call it 210 for X, 210, negative 1290 for Y, and 170, but not 170, 500 units up, so let's just say 670 in the Z. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking a new value, a new Z value for this platform. This platform, whatever it is on yours, is 210, negative 1290 for the X and the Y. For the Z, I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. And the reason I'm doing that is just to show people who've never done or worked in games what happens when you do that. So I'm going to click play. When I hit the trigger on the platform, which I'm about to do, it's going to move that actor to that location. But then you'll say, Hegney, it doesn't move that actor to that location. And it's basically the issue of the water bottle that we went over in class the other day when someone told me to pick up the water bottle. And I didn't know what water bottle they were referring to. So I picked up the one I wasn't supposed to. So look at platform BP, or the blueprint. No, not the blueprint, of course. Look at your level blueprint. When you look at your level blueprint, notice I have a new location. I don't have a reference to the actor. It doesn't know what I want to move. So here's the other cool thing. We already did this. The last time we clicked on the trigger box. This time we're going to click on the platform. And when we do that, if we right-click in our level blueprint and choose Create Reference to Platform 1 BP, we now have this little node that stands for that platform, and now I'm going to drag that node from Platform 1 BP to the target, so the actor that it's setting the location for is the target. It is Platform 1 BP. Now it is. I'm going to compile it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to play it. And I'm going to run to that platform. And what happens? Oh, wow, look. It's a teleport, right? And I know what a lot of first-time or new students to games, what they'll do is they're like, well, I wanted it to slowly go there. Why didn't it animate there, right? And we have to tell it to animate. So just know the difference between teleporting something to somewhere and animating something somewhere interpolatively. Well, that word will come in handy later, I promise you. So let me go back into the level blueprint, because we're going to do something fun. And that's where the timeline comes into play. I promise you, you'll get this. This will all make sense. So I'm going to scoot this over, because I'm going to stick a little timeline in here that will play a series of float numbers from 0 to 1, and that's going to help us gradually move our platform to where we want it to be. So drag another node off of the begin overlap, let go, and type in timeline. And there's a little thing at the bottom that says add timeline, so we're going to add timeline. Notice it continued the little series of execute functions, so that's great. And I'm going to call this, notice it says timeline underscore 0. It's highlighted. It wants me to change the name of it. I'm going to call it raise platform is what I'll call it. Sure. And I'm going to double click to go into it. Now, it looks like nothing so far. So what we're going to do is we are going to click on the add float track button, which is the little F with the plus to it. That creates a little graph, and what you don't know is there is a graph there. It's just a continuous line along the y equals 0 axis. So what we're going to do is hold down Shift and click, and we're going to make a second one. Shift and click. It doesn't really matter where you make those little nodes, or those keyframes, if you will. But I'm going to click the first one, and because we can change where it is on that graph. So for time, make sure the time for the first node equals 0. The value is going to be 0. Good, it already is 0. The next thing you have to note is right up on the top, it says length, 5.00. That means the length of this timeline is 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds of time, right? So it's a unit of time. It's a measurement of time. So the time is 5 seconds. So we're going to click the second node. Now the second node's value, well, let's click the time first. We'll change the time to, let's say, 4 seconds. How about 4 seconds? We'll hit enter. It looks like it disappeared. It didn't. If you click this little zoom to fit horizontal button right there, we'll see it comes back. It just went beyond our graph. For the value of this, we're going to click 1, and you'll see why much later. Again, it looks like it disappeared. Didn't disappear. I'm just going to click the zoom to fit vertical, and now we can see it there. So we have a 5-second, let me see if I can zoom this, yeah. We have a 5-second timeline, and in 4 seconds, it goes from 0 to 1. So in 2 seconds, you see that value right here in the center? It's at 0.5. That's going to come in handy real soon. Let's call this, instead of new track 0, let's right-click this, new track 0, click rename, and let's call this raising, let's call this platform animate, or platform animate. It's better. There we go. Now look, we have a tab. We have 2 tabs open. Clicking that timeline opened up a new tab. I'm going to click event graph. So that we can go back to the event graph. Zoom in on that raise platform timeline. Look at that. Platform animate is a new node down there. That is the node that's going to output a series of values for 4 seconds, or for 5 seconds. For the first 4 seconds, the value in that output is going to go from 0 to 1. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to use that. And let me just see how much time I have left. Good, I have about a few more minutes. 5 minutes? Yeah, we can do it, sure. What I'm going to do is I actually want to create, I'm going to drag... Well, now I'm nervous, and I don't know what to do because, no, I do know what to do. Before we use that, timeline animation because I know you're really excited to do it. No, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm cool doing it. What I'm going to do is Control C and Control V that Platform 1 BP. Control C, Control V. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And what I want to get from that, I'm going to drag a little node out. And I am connected to that blueprint, that platform blueprint. And I'm going to say get, what is the name of the variable? Get platform 1 begin. Right here. And if you don't want to scroll through, I can say get platform, there it is, 1 begin. And the next one I'm going to get, I'm going to drag another one because I want to get that second variable. Get platform 1 end. So I can get those variables that are in the platform blueprint by dragging out a node from that reference. The new location, I want it to be platform end. Okay. No, sorry. What I want to do is I want to interpolate the value from platform begin to platform 1. And I'm going to interpolate it linearly. And that is what's called a lerp in Blueprints, and possibly other things too. I'm sorry. I think it's a common mathematical term. But it stands for linear interpolation. And I'm going to just type in lerp, L-E-R-P. And when I get that, I've got an A and a B and an alpha. Drag the begin into A. Oh, sorry, I used the wrong lerp. Oh, right-click, type in lerp. Make sure you use a vector lerp because it needs to interpolate from one coordinate to the ending coordinate. And so it's going to interpolate from A to B. And the alpha is going to come from platform animate. And what that's going to do, let's zoom in here. At 1 second, platform animate's value is 0. So it's going to be all A and no B. At 2 seconds, platform animate is going to be at a value of 0.5. So it's going to be halfway between A and B. And then when alpha reaches 1 after 4 seconds, that 1 means it's all B. Right? So this value is a coordinate system that goes from 0, 0, 0 to the ending point. And we have to plug that return value into the new location. Now that is the theory. I can assure you this is not going to work, but we're going to look at it anyway. And in the 4th video, we will make it actually work. But we have to do this. This is fun. Let's see what happens when I click play. It should do something. Let me just kind of look around here and I'll see it. What is it doing? Okay. It actually did something and it went crazy. And in the 4th video, you will learn what we can do to actually fix it. And this is going to happen all the time for you. You think you have the right solution and you do it and it turns out, oh my gosh, you have no idea what's wrong. So why don't you take a break, go watch MacGyver, and then come back in a little bit and watch the 4th one. And you have to hit escape, and I'll see you there.